Today we're going to learn how to divide using exponents. And I just want you to review that whenever we were multiplying two letters or numbers that have the same base, we add. Multiplication is a shortcut for addition. This is one way you can kind of remember which is which. If we're multiplying, we're going to add these. When we are subdividing, we're going to subtract the exponents. Division is a shortcut for subtraction. So for this, x to the m divided by x to the n is going to be x to the m minus n power. We are going to subtract, and I would suggest that if you have any negative numbers that you actually write this out, because most people make their mistake when they don't write it out. Okay, first of all, we're going to take 2 to the 6th power divided by 2 to the 4th power. We're going to subtract those exponents, 6 minus 4. That gives us 2 to the 2nd power. We put that into our calculator with the upside down V key, and we get 4 as our answer. The next one, 3 to the 10th power divided by 3 to the 7th power, is 3 to the 10 minus 7 power. 10 minus 7 is 3. And when we get 3 to the 3rd power, if you put that into your calculator, you will get 27. When you cannot subtract the exponents like this one right here, you just write it as 10 to the m minus n, like what we did up here. This is to the a power. Now remember, even though the power isn't written there, there's one x there, so it does have a power of 1 if you want to put a little 1 there. So this would be x to the a minus 1 power. The next one, we have a plus b, and we're going to subtract c, and that will be your exponent, a plus b minus c. On the next one, we have y plus 2. And again, this has a little imaginary or not written exponent of 1. So we have y plus 2, and then we're going to subtract that 1 power on the bottom. Now 2 minus 1 gives us a positive 1. So this is x to the y plus 1 power. Now when you get fractions, just treat this as a normal fraction. Put it in as negative 4 divided by 2, or negative 4 ABC2. And when you do that, you get a negative 2 for your answer. Again, this x does not have an exponent. That doesn't mean it's 0. It means there's one x there. So this exponent is a 1. So this is x to the 2 minus 1 and y to the 5 minus 3. So our final answer is negative 2, x to the 1st power. Now if you put a 1 there, that is okay. Or if you just leave it x, that's okay also. Y to the 2nd power. On number 8, we have a c. Now notice here, we have 2 c's and a b and an a. We cannot do anything with the b and the a because they're different letters. So we're going to take c to the 4 minus 2 power and leave it with the b on top and put a fraction bar, and that a will have to stay in the denominator because it doesn't have anything up here for us to work with. So the only thing we can do here is to subtract these 2 exponents. And that is a positive exponent, so it's going to end up being up here, c to the 2nd power b over a. On the next one, we're going to take 6 and divide it, put 6 ABC, well, we can't put the negative in here. So this is a positive divided by a negative, which is a negative. 6 ABC2 in your calculator will give you a 3. This is a to the 1st power. This is a to the 1st power. So a to the 1 minus 1 power. B to the 2nd power, this has an exponent of 1 on it. So this is b to the 2 minus 1 power. That gives us negative 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. And 2 minus 1 is b. Now, a 0 exponent, actually it turns it into 1. Anything raised to a 0 power is 1. So negative 3 times 1 is just negative 3. Or if it has a 0 power, it just goes poof. It just disappears. Okay? So our answer is negative 3b because there's 0 a's there. Now, the next one looks a little more complicated. Don't let it throw you, okay? What we're going to do here is we're just going to do the top first. We're going to take the 5 times the negative 81. That gives us negative 405. Now, we also have y squared and t to the 4th. Now notice I put the t to the 4th in front of the y because t comes before y in the alphabet. And we're dividing this by 45t to the 3rd power. When you put this into your calculator, you take a negative 405 ABC 45. You're going to get a negative 9. Now we're going to subtract these exponents. T to the 4th, 4 minus 3 is 1, or just put a t down, or t to the 1st power, and y squared. You do not have to write these out. I'm doing this mainly for the explanation here. When you're doing your homework, you can just subtract them and put the answer down. On the next one, we are taking powers. So everything in here has to be taken to the 4th power. So this has a power of 1. So 1 times 4 is 4. This has a power of 1. 1 times 4 is 4. So we end up with 2 to the 4th power, 3 to the 4th power. Put 2 upside down V4 in your calculator, you get 16. Put 3 upside down V4 in your calculator, you get 81. When you get a fraction, be sure you put it in as a fraction and make sure it can't be simplified. So now put 16 ABC 81 and it won't simplify. On number 12, x to the 3rd power raised to the z power, we take 3 times z. So we get x to the 3z power. 2 to the y power raised to the z power, we're going to multiply y times z. So this is 2 to the yz power. On the next one, we're going to take 4 minus 6. Because we're dividing, we're going to subtract our exponents. So we get x to the negative 2 power. I'm not going to go into what that final answer is. I'm just going to let you do that for today because that's next lesson. Okay? We have only 2 more things to put down. This is x to this power, and this x is to this power. Don't let it throw you. You all know how to do this. We're going to take 2a minus 1, and we're going to subtract that 3a plus 2. So 2a minus 3a. This will make these both minus, because a negative times a positive is a negative 3a. A negative times a positive is a negative 2. So now we have 2a's minus 3a's, which is going to give us a negative a. And we have a negative 1 minus 2, which is a negative 3. Last thing, and we've already talked about, any number raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Now there is an exception to that. 0 raised to the 0 power is not 1. But any number a raised to the 0 power is just going to be 1, or it just goes poof. It disappears. 9 to the 0 power is equal to 1. Anything raised to the 0 power except for 0 is 1. I will be sending you your assignment will be divided up into 3 or 4 different assignments. Thank you.